So today I wanted to take advantage of the really nice, beautiful weather outside, and I'm using natural lighting, so hopefully it looks okay. And I wanted to film another makeup look. I actually wanted to just film like my go-to easy makeup, not like my everyday makeup look because every day I do something different, but it's my go-to makeup look. So like if I want to do something more simple, something that I know I can get done in a shorter amount of time, but that still makes me look and feel good, then this is pretty much what I do. For my lip, I'm just gonna show two different alternatives. One is my actual go-to nude lip, and then the other one's gonna be like just a red bold lip that will look good with this makeup look as well. I have already primed my face in the sense of moisturizer and sunscreen, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to my primer. And of course, I'm going to be using my Essence mattifying primer. So even on days that I'm not really going to be doing any eyeshadow, I still like to start off with my eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids, and I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer in Light Ivory. This is literally the only use I have for this concealer. Like, I don't use it anywhere else except for on my eyelids. I kind of feel like it really does a good job of covering all the darkness, and that might just be the yellow tones in the concealer. Moving on to my second concealer, which is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Wear Camo Concealer in Light Peach. And this one I also like for the brightening aspect of it. I really like to concentrate it on the inner corner of my eyes, basically on my nose, because there's a lot of darkness in there. And I like blending that out with a little, like a concealer brush. I don't necessarily want this color all over my eyelid. I mostly just want to concentrate it on the inner part of my eye. I just feel like it really does do a good job at like brightening that area and making my eyes look a little bit bigger. And then I just go ahead and take my sponge and then kind of fuse the two colors together, so it's not like a super stark difference between the two. And then to set that concealer in place, I'm just gonna use my e.l.f. concealer brush and my Coty Airspun. And I think mine is in like natural neutral or neutral natural or something like that. It's not like the super translucent shade, it's just like a little bit of a tint of pinky yellow color. I don't know. Days when I feel like looking extra cute, I do end up using eyeliner. I do like a pretty small wing, and I am using my Essence Super Precise eyeliner. This is my favorite liquid liner of the moment, and it's really inexpensive, which is the best part. I'm not really good at doing my eyeliner. Like, I'm not an expert. I know how to do it because I've done it so many times, but if I get it wrong on camera, it's probably because I'm getting nervous. I like to get really close to the mirror. So I just create a little tiny wing. And I don't take my eyeliner all the way to the inner corner of my eye. I just take it to like half of my eye, kind of where it's the tallest part of my eyeball, if that makes sense. And that's where I connect it. And then I just fill it in. And as you can probably tell, this eyeliner is really pigmented, which is why I love it. I don't need to like go over the area too many times. So that is what one wing looks like, and the hardest part is trying to match the other one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that off camera real quick, and I'll be right back. So I don't know what it is about my eye shapes, but obviously they're not the same because nobody's eyes are ever the same. But tell me why this one always comes out like perfectly thick, and I actually really like how this looks. But then this one comes out perfectly like cat eye, like your typical really cute, swoopy, fine tip liner. I love each, but they don't match each other, so I always have to either make this one thinner like this one, or I make this one thicker like this one. And today I'm feeling the thicker liner, so I'm just gonna try to make this one thicker like this one. But I just wanted to show you that yeah, nobody's eye shapes are ever the same, and they will always be completely different. That's pretty much the best that I can do at the moment in terms of the eyeliner. We're gonna move on because I cannot spend 3 hours doing my eyeliner. It actually didn't really take me that long. I just know that I have the ability to obsess about my eyeliner, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move on. So since I've already primed my face, I am ready for foundation. That is basically all I'm doing on the eyes for the moment. For foundation, my go-to foundation is the L'Oreal Fresh Wear, Infallible Fresh Wear, 24-hour Fresh Wear, whatever it's called. This one right here, and I'm in the shade Rose Vanilla. I try to minimize the amount of foundation that I put on, especially on a day-to-day basis. Because one, I do not really need that much full coverage, and two, I don't want to run through my foundation that quickly. $12 is $12 that I could be using for other things that I need. I usually do one pump and try to disperse the product to the majority of the lower half of my face, and then I do not a full second pump, but I kind of do like a second pump, and then I put it on my forehead and then just basically disperse it to any areas that I feel need a little bit more coverage. And my bruise is making an appearance. I fell because I'm really clumsy. I do like to put a little bit of product on my neck as well. I don't put like more product on the sponge and then apply it to my neck unless I have a breakout on my neck, because yeah, I mostly break out like in this area. But for the most part, I just like to match a little bit of the coverage on my neck, especially because I have a lot of discoloration in that area. I think it's just genetic. Moving on to my concealer for my under eyes. I do use another Pro Conceal concealer from LA Girl. This one's in the shade Classic Ivory, and I personally love this shade because it is kind of like a peachy, kind of pink tone concealer, and I really actually like that because of the darkness underneath my eyes. I actually like to use this kind of to color correct, so I use it in the areas that are obviously a little darker, like my under eyes. And then I also like to put it in this area here because I'm a Latina, and sometimes our facial hair is a little darker than everybody else's. And then I also like to put it in between my brows. For underneath my eyes, I also like to put the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer, the same one that I used on my inner corner. I'm just gonna do that much underneath one eye and blend it out. I do like to do one eye at a time because this concealer dries really quickly. And I do drag it down so that it blends in seamlessly with the rest of my face. Put it on my nose, I put it between my brows to brighten up. And I'm not adding more product. That's how good this concealer is. All I need is just those two little dots, and I can really like disperse it everywhere else. And two more little dots underneath this side. I don't know if you can notice, but I can notice in person. Whenever I do my concealer underneath my eyes and then I put powder on there, it obviously makes my eyeliner not stand out as much, and it kind of like fades it a little bit. I'll actually fix that once I'm done doing the rest of my face because there's going to be more powders involved, and I don't want to keep having to fix it all the time. The reason why I like to do it first is because, like I said, I'm not an expert at doing my eyeliner, so sometimes I need to literally wipe off the whole thing and start over, and I don't need to be wiping off my base as well. I have to go ahead and do my brows before moving on and setting the rest of my face. To be honest, I usually forget to do my eyebrows because I've really been doing this part of my makeup routine very long. It's something that I incorporated fairly recent. I guess you could say I have what I would consider pretty good brows. They're pretty full and they're pretty dark already, but I do have some areas that could obviously use a little bit more love, like you can see right there, and then on this one it's not as full as this one, so that is why I like to use a brow pencil to just kind of fill in those areas. And then I also like to match like the tails because one of these is shorter than the other. I think this one has a longer tail than this one does. That's pretty much all I do for my brows. I don't really do anything too drastic. So I went ahead and bronzed or contoured. I always do this around the word contoured because I don't want to get yelled at for not contouring properly, but this is my version of contouring my own face because this is how I like to enhance my own features. I just went ahead and did it off camera because I've done it in other videos. I don't really feel the need to repeat the same thing over and over again. After I bronze up or contour my face, I go ahead and use blush, and this has been my go-to blush lately. It is Wet n Wild Mellow Wine blush. I like it because even though it is clearly a blush, it has brown undertone, and I really like how it looks with the bronzers. I love using my e.l.f. blush brush to apply my blush because I really like the shape of this. I feel like it really does a good job of chiseling my cheek a little bit more. I like to apply it kind of how I apply my bronzer, just obviously a little bit higher than my bronzer. So once I'm done basically putting the base to my face, I like to go ahead and set my makeup. I like to do this before I apply lashes and mascara because I don't necessarily like to get my mascara wet after it's already been dried, and then I also don't like putting this on my glue for my lashes just in case they haven't dried completely. And I also try to avoid the under eye area because again, I don't need it to be wet again after I've already set it and dried it. So sometimes I don't even spray it. Sometimes I just apply it to my makeup sponge and then dab it on. While I let my face dry from the setting spray, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding glue to my lashes so that the glue has enough time to dry before I try to apply it on my eyeballs. Today I am using my Ardell Wispies because these are pretty much my go-to lashes. They are beautiful and I can always intensify them if I want with mascara. This was usually around the time where I set my brows, and I have been using the Benefit Gimme Brow little thingamabobber. It's okay. Like, I don't really have much of an opinion. I don't really feel like it really makes my eyebrows look fuller or anything like that on its own. Like, I definitely still have to fill in my brows and then put this on, but I mean, it does a good job of keeping my hairs in place because for the most part that is my problem. I have very unruly brow hairs. After I set my brows, I also like to put a little bit of a brow bone highlight, and I usually like to use my Ofra Rodeo Drive. It's really cute size. It's like a little sample size, and I actually really like this highlighter. I don't really wear it on a day-to-day basis on like my face, but I do like to add it to my brow bone because I really like how it kind of just makes it look really pretty. At this point, I kind of feel like my face is dry enough for highlighter, and I do go in with my Essence Pure Nude highlighter. Mine's pretty busted. I'm gonna go ahead and use my little fan brush from Wet n Wild, and this is my favorite brush to apply this particular highlighter with. I don't know why, but I just kind of feel like it does the best job of applying it the way that I like it. And this is a very subtle highlighter. It's not really meant to like be blinding or anything like that. It's actually meant to make just your face glow naturally or look like it's glowing naturally, and that is why I like to use this one on a day-to-day basis. And I pretty much just apply this all over my face. I even bring it to above my brow. Even though I will get naturally glowy there later, I still like to apply this just so that everything kind of looks uniform. I think my eyelashes are ready for me to apply them, so I'm gonna go do that real quick. So applied some mascara to the bottom lashes and to the top lashes. I usually like to put mascara on after I've already put on lashes because I like to enhance my lashes a little bit more and also blend them in at the same time. I also did add a little bit of liner to tightline the upper waterline, whatever it's called. But then I also wanted to add a little bit of this NYX Wonder pencil to my waterline, and I wanted to show you like before and after I do this step. I usually do this because whenever I add mascara to the bottom lashes, it tends to get in my waterline, and I don't necessarily like that look. So what I like to do is I like to use a nude liner and kind of correct that. So then I just go ahead and add it to the waterline to really make it look clean and bright. Also, this kind of helps make your eyes look a little bit bigger and more awake. I don't know what it is, but I'm obviously using the same lashes, but somehow whenever I put them on my eye, they always end up looking like two different lashes. I think again it goes back to my eyes being different shapes. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my lips finally. I'm gonna do my go-to combo first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do like the more bright, bold look. So for my go-to combo, I always like using the NYX London lip liner. This is the normal size of a NYX lip liner, and this is the size of my favorite lip liner. So you can tell that I really like it. I like to make sure my lips are moisturized, which is why I moisturize while I'm doing my makeup. But then the minute that I go ahead and add my lip products, I like to make sure that there's no oils or any residue from the lip balm, because I don't want my lip liner to skip. I go ahead and fill in my lips completely. And then I do overline my lip slightly, especially on the top, because my bottom lip is a lot bigger than my top lip. So that is what the lip liner looks like on its own. As you can tell, it is a beautiful color, and that is why I love it. But I'm also going to go ahead and use a liquid lipstick. This is from ColourPop. This is their Ultra Satin Lip Formula in Strip. And it's basically the same exact color as the lip liner. I would just rock the lip liner on its own, but with this, it kind of just makes the color last a little bit longer. On a day-to-day basis, this is exactly the makeup that I would be wearing out. Sometimes I do add a little bit of a lip gloss. I usually put on like the ColourPop Moonchild, I believe. It's the gloss that Kathleen Lights came out with in collaboration with ColourPop. I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop on a red lip. You have two different lip colors. They're kind of deceiving because on the bottle they look like, this one looks more like a maroon dark vampy color, and then this one looks like a super bright red. But when you apply them, it kind of creates a different color, so I'm not really sure which one I want to go with. I think I'm going to try this one first, and then if I don't like it, I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. But for my lip liner, I am going to be using an Essence lip liner, and it is in the color Red Blush. Here is what the makeup looks with a bold red lip. As you can see, the color is a little darker than how it is on the bottle. I actually don't mind it. I think this is a beautiful color, and the formula is really long lasting. It's not budge, it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't really transfer, and it's a really good formula, so I actually like it. I just don't wear it as much as I would like to because it does not want to come off at the end of the day. So I mean, that's both a good thing, and it's also a little bit annoying. That's pretty much everything on this makeup look. This is my go-to makeup minus the lip. I can basically wear this makeup look to any event or any sort of social gathering. And now I'm gonna go ahead and go to a social gathering with my mom. If you enjoyed watching me get ready, or I hope you got something out of this video. I definitely get something out of making videos. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I am hanging out with someone, even if it's myself. It really just helps with my own ability to be my own best friend. I know that sounds like a joke, but I'm actually kind of serious. So yeah, that's everything for this makeup look. If I remember to put in a clip of my lipstick at the end of the day, or at least a few hours from now, then that'll be next. I finished doing my makeup at like 1 o'clock this afternoon, and this is the update on the lip color. It is 6 p.m. and I have not touched up my lips. It's a little bit smudged right there, and a little bit is gone from the edges, but I have literally been eating, drinking, talking. So like I said, it's a pretty good lip formula. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stick around. Bye.